folks, how you doing out there? I'm Don. I'm smiling because I have a feeling we're in for a treat for a couple reasons. One, I've never reacted to Junior Sisk. So this is a brand new one to me, and I love that. Just like I read your comments when I present an artist to you guys that you'd never heard of, and you leave a comment like, wow, that was good. I love knowing new artists. I love knowing the new artists as well. And Farm Daddy made a gift to the channel for me to do this. So Farm Daddy, aka Robert, thank you for the gift, but Farm Daddy knows his stuff. And Farm Daddy makes a lot of gifts to the channel for me to do these different ones, and it's this eclectic assortment. Same thing with Matt Gallardo. And like Jacob Herrick's, when he makes gifts, are for Texas artists, and I love that. But Farm Daddy, I never know what I'm getting. And I like that. I kind of like the surprise in life. And this is Ain't Nothing Wrong With That. And that's open-ended title. I don't know what that is, but I have a feeling we're going to find out. So let's see what Farm Daddy's doing today, playing DJ vicariously through me. I love that.
Wish I was young and handsome, but those days are long gone now.
I hate
I'm
that.
just a worn-out country singer, dragging this old voice around. And when I hear the latest music, it just always leaves me flat. I'm just a three-chord singer, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
When music chases money, in the end you'll find it might fill your pockets, but won't satisfy your mind.
That, man, I have said that so many times. It's like the lyrics come. Miranda Lambert's different, all right? So I'm going to say that there are artists with some really good songs. Miranda is still my favorite. She makes me feel songs more than any other artist does. And, of course, other artists make me feel things deeply, Merle, George. But the stuff, by and large, the stuff that's being like mass-produced and coming out of Nashville just doesn't leave anything to the mind. There's nothing brilliant in the songwriting. It's why Martina McBride left, basically, because she just couldn't take the boring songs about rusted pickup truck bumpers and going and drinking beer. Like, it just doesn't satisfy the mind. All right.
I'll just sit here singing to three dogs and a cat. I'm a star on my front porch, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I can see him on his porch.
I spent all my younger years trying to make it on my own. My music dream's still living, it's just living here at home. Now I'm out here on the porch swing in my overalls and hat, just singing to the fireflies, ain't nothing wrong with that. When music chases money, in the end you'll find it might fill your pockets, but won't satisfy your mind. So I'll just sit here singing to three dogs and a cat. I'm a star on my front porch, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Maybe he should get another cat, too, to grow his audience.
No one ever moved me like Haggard, Cash, and Jones. Their songs hit me way down deep where music meets the bone. The heart and soul is gone now, and there's no turning back. So I'll just sing my memories, ain't nothing wrong with that. When music chases money, in the end you'll find it might fill your pockets, but won't satisfy your mind. So I'll just sit here singing to three dogs and a cat. I'm a star on my front porch, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm so stuck on that line. I swear I wish I had thought of that line. Where music meets the bones. And he just referenced George Jones, which was part of the rhyming scheme. But I think, who'd he say? I think he said Merle. Maybe he said Hank. There were 3 artists in there. Maybe it was Merle, Hank, George Jones. Because they write things, sing things, play things. Where music meets the bones. Can't do better. There is not a better line. I've heard a lot of good lines that I might be able to put up against that one. That is one of the best lines I've ever heard. I don't know. Just sometimes you're like, damn, I wish I thought of that. But I'm glad. I don't know who the songwriter was for this. I don't do the research. So if you're new to the channel, it's not a research channel. It's a reaction channel. That's what I do. But this, just even the instrumentation on this, the imagery, you could see him. I think he said he's like in his overalls on that swing. And he didn't say this, but I pictured him with like a piece of straw, while he's doing his thing. But he's playing to his 3 dogs and a cat. He was playing to the fireflies at one point. I think that's when he was in the swing that he was playing to the fireflies. On the porch, it's to the dogs and cat. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And he just sings it happy. He's like, all right, music chases money. Fair enough. I mean, money's important. I mean, if you don't have a label that makes money, people will consume what you put out there. It's just one of those things where it's just things change bit by bit by bit. Then you get your copycats. Like Stevie Wonder, when he came out back, I was a kid, real young. And then what happened after that, I started to notice a lot of other artists, R&B artists, started trying to copy him. So when something works and people adore you and love you, other people start to imitate part of you to whatever extent they can to imitate that success. Like I thought that when Prince came out that he was a Michael Jackson copycat initially. A lot of people did. And then it turned out that Prince just happened to have an absurd skill set that in many ways was like Michael Jackson's, but in other ways diverged from them. He wasn't a copycat, but our minds are kind of wired to say, all right, pattern recognition, we're looking for similarities and differences, but people will purposely copy other things that work. And when a label sees that a boy band will work, they'll come up with, the competing label will come up with their own boy band. What was one? I was never into the boy bands, but like Backstreet Boys or something like that. There were a couple others. And then there were girl bands. I love the Bangles, mind you. But that was part of the copying things. So in Nashville, of course, when the heads of labels who are responsible for driving shareholder value and making money, when they come up with, for public companies, and they all are, that they've got to keep the money flowing. And they've got to keep it flowing to increase shareholder value. So the money has to come in. So they will keep doing what they have seen works until either people burn out on it or there's a new type of artist that comes out that takes the country world by storm. But the sad part is there are so many artists out there, like you could say a Robert Earl Keen. If they were the ones on the radio, that would be the music that was being purchased because people's ears would have been attuned to his style of play. It's sort of like what you feed people, they'll eat. And as evidenced, it's kind of fun to listen to a mindless song once in a while. I'm not big on that because I really do. My brain likes to be engaged in things. But every so often you're driving, you're tired, whatever, and it's good to crank up just like a mindless fun song as you're going down the road or whatever. But people will eat what you put out there, and they're putting out their stuff that just does not engage the brain. But hey, if it sells, it sells. It keeps the labels afloat. But I guess I wish they had like a separate division where they would take on a couple of independent artists and give them a little more play time. But it costs money to do that, and that's not what the label heads are there to do. So, Farm Daddy, you sent me on this dissertation, not quite a doctoral dissertation, but a dissertation nonetheless, on the state of affairs in music. I don't know when Junior came out. This sounds like it was a while ago. This didn't sound like it was last year. This sounds like, even though it was true, but it's funny to see when these things come out, that they were true then, still true now. That truth hasn't changed. We haven't had a new type of artist come out to where the others are like following the leader and it changes the sense of music. I'm going to rate this song. Now, it was a fun song with really good imagery in it. The instrumentation was fun. The heart behind it was good. And the number that struck my brain, which is important, was a 9.1. That's a country song right there. Murder on Music Row type of deal. Just without saying that, that's what he said. Music chases money. And but where music meets the bones. Best line ever. So Farm Daddy, aka Robert, thank you again, my friend. You could leave your comments of gratitude or whatever for Robert, or comments about the song, and we'll go from there. Have a great day. See you on another video. Keep rocking the country. Legit country.